My name is Austin Summerall. I'm the chef and owner of White Pillars Restaurant and Lounge. We're located on the beach in Biloxi. We're a farm-to-table restaurant, and we serve coastal cuisine. So here at White Pillars, we try to source all of our ingredients as locally as possible. We've got the Gulf of Mexico right across the street where we pull all of our seafood, and then we've got great farmers around here that grow beautiful vegetables and produce for us, and we try to source as much locally as possible. Even our tables are made right here in Mississippi. Our artwork is local. Our plates are made right here in Biloxi. My sous chef Mike makes our spoons. We really try to do as much Mississippi stuff as possible, and we think that gives us a competitive edge in the restaurant business because you've got so much stuff coming from right here around you, from our community. So my wife Tressie and I reopened White Pillars in 2017. It was previously a restaurant under the same name from 1969 to 1989. Bringing back such a historical piece of real estate and a restaurant, is an honor, first off, but it's a very daunting task as well. We're just happy to bring back such a great piece of history to the Gulf Coast. We think it's an important building, an important part of Biloxi's history, and we're just happy to be serving smiling customers in the White Pillars once again. So a couple of weeks ago, we did get a chance to compete in the Great American Seafood Cook-Off. We were representing Mississippi. There was 14 other states that were also represented there. It was awesome. It was really fun. We were cooking against some really heavy hitter chefs. And the opportunity to kind of showcase Mississippi's cuisine, and so that people can see, that we know what we're doing around here, and to be able to kind of put Mississippi up on a pedestal was just such an honor. My wife cooked right there with me, also super fun. My family was all there to watch, so that made it even more special. And then when we were announced as the winner, obviously very surprised. It was really good chefs. But we went to win. We decided our philosophy was go big or go home, and I think it paid off. It was really fun experience. We enjoy competing in those kind of things, but I think probably the most special part was being able to represent our state. So here at White Pillars, we're open Wednesday through Saturday for lunch and dinner. Then we do brunch on Sunday. Our menu does change pretty much every day, but you can get a snapshot of it on our website at biloxiwhitepillars.com if you're curious to see what we're serving. We do try to keep the freshest ingredients going, so it is going to change slightly each day, but we think that's what keeps it fun. We also have the great honor of hosting a lot of special events on the coast. We not only do charity balls and functions and things like that, but we also do lots of rehearsal dinners and weddings. My wife is our event coordinator, so she handles all that. She's really good at it, so if you have a special event that you're looking to book, definitely give her a call. We do drag brunches once a month on Sundays. They're a really good time. We have a DJ in the restaurant, and everybody gets to let their hair down a little bit, so that's a really fun event too. You can find those tickets on our website, again, biloxiwhitepillars.com, and I would suggest getting them as early as possible. They sell out about a month in advance. So this is my wife Tressie, co-owner and event coordinator here at White Pillars. She's the one that keeps me sane and pointed in the right direction for sure. Okay, so we're going to be making shrimp and grits today here at the White Pillars. So this is something that we make here at brunch and lunch, and it's on our bar menu, one of our very popular items. We're going to make it in a way that you can make it at home, so hopefully you can follow along with this recipe. I know we've got it on our website, and I think you guys are going to post it too. So this is something that you can make for yourselves. So we're going to start with the things that take the longest first. We're going to make our grits, and then we're going to start chopping stuff as we go. So we're going to start off with Grit Girl grits. You can get these at the farmer's market in Ocean Springs. They're locally sourced corn that's stone ground right here in Mississippi. So it's a really cool product. Highly suggest. So the first thing we're going to do with that, and I have pre-measured some stuff, but I will tell you what we're doing. So we've got 2 cups of half and half, and we've got 2 cups of water. That's going to go in the pot first. We're going to get that stuff hot, and then we're going to add in 1 cup of grits. Always important, at least with these grits, it's a 4-to-1 ratio, and then you can make any amount going off of that. So we'll be getting that milk and half and half mixture hot. We're going to add in some chopped thyme. I did go ahead and chop this, but it is fresh thyme. You could use dried. Obviously, fresh is better. You should be always growing thyme in your garden. We'll toss that in there. We're going to let that come up to a simmer before we add the grits in. And while we're waiting on that, we're going to kind of chop all the rest of our stuff that we need for the shrimp and grits. So we're going to start off with some bacon. Slab bacon is obviously the best. You can use slice and just chop it up, but you can go to your local butcher shop, even some of our local grocery stores and stuff like that. They actually have slab bacon if you go back there and ask them for it. So it kind of gives you a little bit better texture. And we're going to cut this into what's called lardons, or just little square chunks. If you're really feeling adventurous, you can make your own bacon like we do here. We're just going to dice this up though. Go right back in there. And again, if you just had this in slices, you could just cut it into pieces and get a similar final product. Now you could do all of these things separate. You could cook your grits first, you could render your bacon next. We're going to try to do it all at one time, and hopefully that's going to go well. That is the shortest way to end up with the final product. But it wouldn't hurt to render your bacon, set it aside, make your grits, set them aside. You can do that too. So we're going to do that now. We're going to render this bacon down. We're just going to put it in the pan at a nice low temperature and kind of let some of the fat come out and let it get crispy, and then we're going to pull it back out. All right, so we're going to keep pushing forward here on the shrimp and grits. We're going to start mise en placing out our stuff for the sauce. So in the sauce for this shrimp and grits, we're going to use shallots, garlic, lemon. We've got some locally grown mushrooms. These are from Shroomdom Farms. Obviously, you could sub in a different kind of mushroom. These are oyster mushrooms, my personal favorite, really delicious. And then we've got chicken stock, a little bit of Worcestershire, and then we're going to finish it with some chopped parsley. Again, fresh is best on that too. And then of course, some big Gulf shrimp. We're going to peel those up. Buying them right off the dock right here in Biloxi is obviously the best way to get those, and how we try to do it when we can. So our half and half mixture has come up to a boil. So we're going to add in these grits. Really important when you're making grits to use stone ground, not instant. If you get anything out of this, it's not to use instant grits. That'd be okay with me. And then lots of stirring is really important when you're making grits. You can stir your grits with your wooden spoon made by Mike Macy. You can get these at Desports. This is my lucky wooden spoon. So not only are we using local products, but we've actually got local spoons going in the grits now. So now we've got our grits cooking. We've got our bacon rendered. It's turned down. It's gonna keep going there. As far as like your time on the grits, you know, I feel like people hate when you say it this way, but until they're done, essentially, 10 to 15 minutes, something like that. But it's gonna depend on your temperature and where you're at on that too. So until they're done, sorry. We keep chopping stuff for our sauce. Finely diced shallots. All right, so we've got our chopped shallots. You just want to cut it up really small so you get plenty of flavor from your products. Keep that together. Obviously, you want to add salt and pepper to the grits as well. Bacon is rendered here, so we're just going to go use a slotted spoon to get that out, and then we're going to go right back on this plate here. Save that. That's going to go back in the sauce. So our grits are still cooking. We're still chopping up stuff for the sauce. We've got our shallots and our garlic done. I'm going to go ahead and slice this lemon. It's going to go in there at the end. And cut up our mushrooms. Just take a little bit of the stem out there. And then we're just going to slice these up. I like to say when you're cutting mushrooms that you don't want to cut them up too fine. You want them to still look like mushrooms. Last but not least, we're going to peel these shrimp. I think probably one of my favorite things about living in Biloxi is eating beautiful shrimp. I think we've got the best shrimp in the world. And I'd eat them every day if I could. And I can, so I might. Shrimp peeled and deveined. All right, our grits are done cooking. We've almost got everything ready for our sauce. One last thing we got going here is this rosemary that magically appeared that we do grow right out there in our herb garden. I'm just gonna chop just a little bit of that up. All right, so we've got all our ingredients ready, or our mise en place in place, and ready to go to the stove and finish making the shrimp and grits. All right, TV magic, we're on the other side now. So we're gonna get our pan hot. We're gonna start with butter because butter makes everything better. If you're making this at home, you always use non-salted butter when you're cooking. The only time you use salted butter is to put it on your bread. All right, as our butter gets hot, we're gonna go in with our shallots, rosemary, and garlic. So we're gonna sweat these, and what that means is we're not gonna get color on it. One little chef trick that can help you do that is you actually add a little bit of salt while you're cooking your onions and garlic and that kind of stuff. And it's going to help you to not get color on it because they're going to start to release their moisture. Next goes in the shrimp. More seasoning. We're not going to get a ton of color on these shrimp because we're going to keep adding stuff to this. So we get hit with a little bit of chicken stock. We make our own here at White Pillars. Obviously, you can buy that at the store too, though. A little bit of Worcestershire. All right, so we're starting to get a nice reduction on our sauce here. That's important. We're gonna get our mushrooms going in this pan. You can see the chicken stock starting to get a little thick there. I'm gonna add just a little bit more because our shrimp aren't quite done cooking yet. You can tell the shrimp are starting to get done when they start curling up on the edges, and then obviously you don't want them to be clear anymore. Once they're opaque, you know they're done cooking. So this is probably the most difficult part of the dish, but if you do it just right, it's actually very easy. So you can see in our pan here, sauce is starting to get thick. We're gonna mount butter in. That's what the technical term for that is. Now you want to take it up off the heat and move it around. Turn this one down at the same time. So you can turn this way down to make this easier. What you'd want to not do is go too fast. And you can see I'm kind of keeping it moving constantly. That's going to keep our sauce from breaking. And at the same time, I'm going to cook these mushrooms. But you got to keep it moving. You see our butter has gotten down to just a little bit left here. Now we're going to kill the heat completely on that. Last but not least, and not even last, we're going to add in our chopped parsley. Just a little squeeze of lemon. Only way to know if you've got your seasoning right is to taste it, so that's what we're going to do next. It's delicious. We're going to finish cooking our mushrooms over here too. That's going to go right on top. Now mushrooms love butter, so if you feel like they're getting dry, add more butter. So we've got our Shroomdom Farm mushrooms sauteed here, looking beautiful, smelling even better. All right, now we're ready to plate. First, we're going to talk about our plates just a little bit. So all the stuff that you've seen us using in our mise en place and that we're about to plate on is made right here in Biloxi, which is really cool. So it's right down the street at the George Orr Museum that they spin these plates. Robin over there makes them for us. And I mean, they're beautiful. So you start with a beautiful plate and then you put beautiful food on there. Makes it even better. So the first thing we're gonna do is add our grits. Essential ingredient for shrimp and grits. You go right in the middle with that. Then we're gonna put our shrimp on. Add our sauce. We're going to garnish with a little bit of our rendered bacon, because that makes everything better. And last but not least, shroom and mushrooms. And there we have it. It's your white pillared shrimp and grits.